Shabbat Shalom. How's everyone this morning? Good? Awesome. I'm really excited because our weekend of music is continuing, right? Last night we had St. Stephen's Church, we had Shir Chadash, and this morning we have our amazing Brotherhood No Rehearsal Choir. We're the only requirement, yes. The only requirement for being a part of the choir is that you do not rehearse beforehand. So, adds to the fun. I love. Yeah, just show up, and you're in the choir. It's great. So let's jump in. Our opening song, Hine Matov.
Hine Matov Manahim Shevet Hamim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manahim Shevet Hamim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, Yalalai, Yalalalai. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, Yalalai, Yalalalai. Hine Matov Manahim, Yalalai, Lalai, Yalalalai. Hine Matov Manahim, Shevet Hamim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manahim, Shevet Hamim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manahim, Shevet Hamim Gam Yachad.
All right, we're going to do some flipping really quick. Page 6. Let's read the English responsively at the bottom of the page. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
And now we flip to 172 to sing together Ma Tovu. And as we turn to page 195, we rise physically, spiritually, or both for the Baruch Hu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, osei shalom uvarei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim. Uvetuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam bechochma asita mala haaretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha. Ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela. Or chadash al Zion ta'ir v'nizkei chulanu meheira le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. Let's read the English together at the top of 196. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcomed than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'orot. We turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema. You may be seated. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day upon your heart, shall be upon your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down. Bind them for a sign upon your hands, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. We turn to page 204 to sing together Mi Chamocha, the song our ancestors sang as they crossed the Sea of Reeds.
Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha
We rise physically, spiritually, or both on page 205 for the tefillah.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Uvi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdevot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo V'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah. We read the English together at the bottom of 207. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher, encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol.
Nekadesh et Shemcha ba'olam, כשם של מקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהייך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. Page 216. Let's read the English together at the bottom of the page. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our efforts to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, ya la 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 ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, sim,
Sim Shalom Tova Uveracha. Take a moment for a silent prayer, a meditation, just a nice moment of quiet to enjoy the holy space we've created together here this morning. We all need healing in our lives, healing of body, of spirit, of mind. At this point in our service, we take a moment to think of those in our lives that are in need of healing, whether it be you, loved one, family member, friend, anyone you might be thinking of this morning. As we name them in our hearts, we turn to page 253 to sing together Misha Berach, our prayer for healing.
Before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheperach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim, blessed are you, Adonai, who brings comfort and healing to those in need of it. We say together, Amen. It's time for the Torah service. We're on page 244. I'm so excited. There's something very beautiful about the Torah service in general, but when we have a special event around it, right, like starting the book of Exodus, right, there's just a little extra ruach there, so I'm excited. Come on the ride with me. Page 244, I invite you to rise physically, spiritually, or both. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name. Be seated. Let's see. Hopefully that's. We'll see. All right. So the people at home can see the text too. All right. So this morning we are beginning the book of Exodus. I'm very excited about it. So what we'll do is we'll do the reverse style blessing. Right? You all will be the individual. I'll be the congregation, so we'll do it opposite for the blessing. Blessing before, I'll read some Hebrew, translate, short Devar, blessing after, we'll return the Torah, we'll get more music. I'm excited. Sound good? All right, let's do it. So we are on page 250. I'll count backwards from 3, and you all take it away with Baruch Hu. 3, 2, 1. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacharanu mikol ha'amim v'natanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Amen. Ve'ele shemot b'nei Yisrael haba'im Mitzrayma et Yaakov ish uvetso ba'u Reuven Shimon Levi Yehuda Yisachar Zebulun uVinyamin Dan v'Naftali Gad v'Asher Vayahi kol nefesh yotzei yerech Yaakov shiv'im nefesh v'Yosef haya b'Mitzrayim vayamot Yosef v'chol echav v'chol hadar hahu. So these are the names of the children of Israel, or the Israelites, that went to or came to Egypt. Jacob, he and his household, every person in his household, they came. Reuben and Shimon, Levi, Yehudah, Yissachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, every soul or every person that went there with Jacob numbered 70. And Joseph was in Egypt at that time. Then Joseph died, and all of his brothers, and all of that generation. So, we get the beginning of the book of Exodus, right? It's called Exodus, as Johanna reminded us this morning, because of the Greek translation, right? Exodus, to go out. And we don't actually begin with the going out, though, right? We have to begin with setting the stage. And so the book of Exodus in Hebrew is actually called Shemot, which means names, right? So it begins with this moment of not only setting the stage so that we know like what characters were there before, but it sort of pushes us towards this understanding of identity, right? So we begin with the names of the children of Israel. We get the different tribes and things. They're a little out of order just in this particular section. Then we get some drama in the story, right? We have the Israelites in Egypt. They start to be fruitful. They start swarming, according to the Hebrew narrator. They start swarming. They multiply, and the Egyptians become afraid, right? There are elements of anti-Semitism, of xenophobia, of racism, all in this one sort of moment. Because the number of Israelites was probably very small in comparison to the entire Egyptian population. But when there's an intolerance of the people, then that small number seems to be a lot more dangerous than they actually are, right? So then we get this incredible moment with Moses at the burning bush. I guess to provide some context, right, we are in Egypt. There's a Pharaoh who arises who does not know or pretends to not know of Joseph or his importance, begins oppressing the Israelites. The command is given to kill every firstborn Israelite son, right? That doesn't end up happening for a little while. Moses is born. He's put into a basket in the Nile, and he sort of floats downstream, is picked up by Pharaoh's daughter, and grows up as a prince in the palace. So from there, we get the moment where he sees the beating of the Israelite. Moses actually kills the Egyptian taskmaster and then leaves Egypt. So that's how we got there, right? So all of that background kind of happens in the beginning, and then we get the beautiful burning bush moment. So there are a couple of names that God gives Moses, right? God says, I was known to Abraham and Isaac and Jacob as El Shaddai, but you shall know my name as Adonai, right? The Yud He Vav He. But there's also another name that's given. It's Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. And it's usually translated as I am that I am, right? But that's wrong. It is, because it's a future tense verb. So it really is saying, I will be what I will be. That's a lot different than I am what I am, right? There's this element of becoming in that. And so when I was looking at this text for this morning, right, and reflecting back on some of Rabbi David's words from last week, right, there is this sort of through line of identity formation in the Torah, right? The entire Torah itself is just sort of this group of people figuring out who they are, who they want to be, where they came from, how they want to interact with the world around them, and how they want to interact with their God, right? The whole Torah, the whole thing is just this one big document about this people figuring out who they are. And just like we don't get to the promised land at the end of the Torah, spoiler, I'm sorry, just like we don't get there at the end of the Torah, right? We don't get a fully formed identity of the Jewish people, right? It's still this sort of, this beautiful, malleable thing, this Jewish identity, in the Torah itself. Right? We don't fully land on monotheism. We get to a point where we're kind of like monolatry, right? Where the God of Israel is the best God, but there could be other gods, right? So we have all of this identity formation, all of this understanding of the world around them. And so the name of God, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, I will be what I will be, made me think of a little bit later in the Torah when we get the phrase, Kedoshim Tihyu, Ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohecha, right? You will be holy, for I, Adonai your God, am holy. So we have this sort of process of becoming, God becoming in relationship with the Jewish people through this story and leaving space to our modern day, right? This story of becoming spans the entire history. And also this idea that holiness, the experience of holiness as we as individuals, it's not a sort of point A to point B thing, right? That is a process. And so with both of those sort of texts floating around, I thought back to the blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh, right? Where it says that he blessed the two of them, Ephraim and Manasseh, and the blessing itself is weird, right? You shall be, or may you be, like Ephraim and Manasseh. We already know who's being blessed and why, but we get this sort of odd wording for the blessing because the idea is that the blessing is, may you be who you will be. So the blessing at the end of Genesis, right, the blessing of Ephraim and Manasseh that is still used many times for the blessing of children in Shabbat services or in the home, that is connected to God being what God will be, which is connected to us in the process of pursuing holiness. So this Shabbat, as we begin to wade into the Exodus story and then into the rest of the Torah with all of its troubling, fantastic, joyful, beautiful text and stories and narratives and characters, I pray that we can really lean into that process of becoming. Not trying to find a specific answer, but really being open to that possibility of holiness, of becoming, of being, of becoming again, of being again, and just allowing that process to be organic. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Blessing after. We're on the bottom of page 250. I'm going to count down. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Please rise physically, spiritually, or both. Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. Page 257. It's Shalom.
Page 283. Let's read together in the middle of 283. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. You may be seated. Page 287. Let's read the English together at the top of the page. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy of wholeness, freedom, and of peace.
Hayom ha'uyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. It has been said Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that day Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one, and God's name will be one.
Page 289. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This morning in our community we are remembering Anna Luz Gonzalez, Mose Cohen, Marshall Cooper, Martin Ehrlich, Lucille Frank, Miriam Weil, Evelyn Bader, Norton Guerin, Ivan Greenspan, Mercedes Nyber, Anna Bellman, Jack Goldberg, Harold Heiken, Louis Jull, Stanley Lehman, Joanne Musicante, James Rosenblum, Nettie Y. Schwartz, Leon Subo, Stephen Frocht, Kimberly Goldberg, David Gomberg, Edith Gruber, Juliet Karp, Yonatan Zabrowski, Chris Alfonso, Horace Blank, Selma Marenblum, S. David Miller, Jean Morris, Lois Stern, Sherry Stiefler, Molly Klein, Carol Rifkin, Betty Cohen Vine, Jane Weinberg, Fred Kagan, Miguel Dresser, C. Worrell Fisher, Rolla Gladstein, Robert LaSalle, Joseph Ornstein, William J. Simon, Beverly Rosenbaum, Hugh Edward Green, and Michael Polanski. We think of our loved ones, those whom death has recently taken from us, and those who died at this season in years past, and in those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memory of our loved ones on our hearts, we rise according to your custom on page 294 for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma tivarach hirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyom echon, uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dikudisha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu yasei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing and a guiding light along our journeys. You may be seated. Our closing song is Osei Shalom. Osei Shalom b'mromah, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mramav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen, v'imru Amen. Can I make a request? The Brotherhood Sabbath prayer? For our benediction? Sweet. And Miriam, may you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O God, and keep them from the stranger's ways.
May God bless you and grant you long life.
May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you.
May God make you good husbands and wives.
You partners who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Don't forget to stop by the Brotherhood Oneg with homemade gravlax and matzah, and there's bourbon. So we'll keep the Torah party going. Shabbat Shalom.